Hi, welcome back to Family and Fit, where we talk fitness and how to integrate it in your busy lifestyle. Today, we're going to talk about a topic that I generally don't talk about. It's non-fitness related, but I feel like it's something that's very, very important, especially with today and today's society and the way that everybody lives. It's getting to a point where nobody has money for retirement. At one point in time, that's what everybody lived for. They worked, they went to their 9 to 5 job, and everybody retired, got pensions, and they lived kind of this American dream type of lifestyle. But that's kind of went out the window with people utilizing credit and just kind of running their credit score and just living above their means and just all these different aspects. So that's something I kind of wanted to bring to you guys today. Something very exciting for us that we've been doing for a long time that we kind of could look at even being a little bit embarrassing. But it's always been that thing that, like, as I show people around my house and they see this thing, I'm just like, but you know what? I don't care, because I'll look at that as one day. That was the grind that got me to where I'm at. So, like, whenever I'm way beyond where I'm at financially and I flew past everybody that was anywhere in the realm of where I'm at, it'll be because of things like this that I've done. So what is it that I've done that's so impactful for my life, and what does it really mean? Well, I'm going to go ahead and tell you what it means first. First of all, it's the truth, but it's a metaphor. This metaphor, it follows suit through all kinds of different aspects of my life and everything that I do in my life. So, here it is. Here's the truth of the matter, is that, as you can probably see, I don't know if you can see or not, I'm vlogging with this camera it's got like a super non-wide, so I guess narrow lens on it. And so like it's easy for me to get out of frame. It's easy for what I'm trying to show you to get out of frame. So hopefully you guys can see. Maybe I should start using the front facing camera, but the quality's worse. I don't know. Okay. But, so yeah. As you can see, I'm on my bed. My mattress is off of the ground. So, me and my fiance have been going hard, and we've had plenty of money to buy a bedroom set. Plenty of money. We just chose not to buy it. We chose to get ahead in life in other ways that are more important than having my mattress off the floor. There's people in other countries that are living on the dirt, living on people's couches, 8 people to a house. There's immigrants coming over here and live in studio apartments and having 10 people live in one studio apartment. Like, a mattress on the ground is nothing. And that's what people need to realize. Like, if you don't make sacrifices here and there in life, especially if you don't have a very significant income, then you'll never be able to accomplish a free lifestyle and a lifestyle where you can just pretty much do what you want and not have to stress whether you're going to be able to pay bills next month. And it's such a relief. Like, I'm almost always, since I've gotten my head straight and gotten back on track, have had enough money in the bank where me and my fiance could quit our jobs and have like 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses. Like, we could both lose our jobs and still be able to live for 3 to 6 months. And it's just a tremendous feeling to feel like that. Where are we at financially? Like, it's been 5 years since we've got our first house together. We started buying our first house. We moved out of my mom's house. And so we moved out of my mom's house and we moved into our first house almost 6 years ago now. And we moved out of that house. We moved into that house. We stayed in there for about 3 years or so. Then we had multiple kids. After we got pregnant with, I think, our third kid, we decided we didn't have enough space because we only had a 2-bedroom, and one of the bedrooms was only like a couple hundred square feet. It was very, very tiny. I have a closet in my house now that's as big as that bedroom was, to put it in perspective. It was a 1,200 square foot house. It was a decent sized house, but we needed to get out because we had all these kids coming, and my fiance was pregnant again with the 4th one. And so we moved out, and we moved to our second house now. So now we have a rental house, and we have the house that we're living in. So we have 2 houses now. We own both of our cars, and both of our cars are under 10 years old. One of them's only like 5 years old, and we own them cash, no payment, no nothing. And it's all because of sacrifices like having the mattress on the floor. It's like the things like that have made the huge, huge impacts. The fact that I paid off like $20,000 on a house that I just moved in last year, and the other house is already halfway paid off in just 6 years. Like, there's people paying 30 years on a loan for one house, and they're still nowhere near being able to own that house, and we're just flying past. And a lot of the stuff is things people don't see. Like, people don't see the fact that we put almost half the equity into the house, and that's because at some point we're trying to be financially free to the point where we just don't have hardly any bills at all. Like, we got to pay water and electric and taxes, and that's like it. That's where we're trying to get with things. So it's all about making them sacrifices. It's about doing stuff that's hard in the short term so that you can gain stuff in the long term. And perfect example that comes of that, whenever we bought our car that's like 5 years old, it blue booked for like $18,000, and we got it for $12,000, and it only had 40,000 miles on it. We wouldn't have been able to get that perfect opportunity if it wasn't for us just having cash on hand. Like, we just were racking money back in the bank, and that's just the advantage of it. You can get great deals. Like, you come across people that end up in a hard predicament, and even though it sucks, like, they're either got the option to maybe sell it to you or sell it to a pawn shop, which is going to really rape them. Whereas you might give them half of what they paid for it. A pawn shops and give them 10%. So there comes little things like that where somebody's either hurting for money, or maybe they just bought something and like they just bought it out of impulse and now they don't want it no more. Somebody bought a motorcycle and then they're like, oh, I don't want it no more. And then you have opportunities to jump on stuff like that and get really good deals and do nothing but just sit there with cash. I just recently started investing in the stock market. That's another perfect example. If you have cash on hand, you see a stock drop way down, and it's for something stupid like just news, like how everybody's bashing Tesla. It's something that just drops for a short amount of time, maybe days at a time, maybe only a week at a time, and then it'll shoot right back up. But you can find dips like that all the time and be able to purchase in on them and make your money grow into more money. So that's like the route of where we're trying to go, is like being financially free and then taking our money, investing our money, and making more money out of our money, and not having to put in more hours to make more money. You don't need to put much back in investments to start making what you're probably making per year. So let's just say a very average income, like $40,000, okay? If you have $100,000 in the bank, or if you have $100,000 in investments, say for instance stock market, and you're a good stock market investor, you should be able to get about 20% on average returns. And at $100,000, 20% of that, you're looking at $20,000 every year. So if you double that number, if you have $200,000 in investments, now you're bringing home $40,000. Your investments alone, just your money being in an account, being invested, will bring you $40,000 home, which is most people's income. I mean, some people are not even making $20,000 a year. So if like they could get to a point where like they quit working at McDonald's, they worked at a factory, they worked 70 hours a week, 80 hours a week, and they did that for like 3 years, lived off of pretty much nothing but ramen noodles, and just saved all that money and put it back towards investments. Like that money it would only take a couple years to get to the point where just your investments alone make more money than what you could make at McDonald's. It's remarkable. Like, nobody really sees that. Nobody even really thinks about that. They think about like just saving, and they don't get to touch their money till retirement. And that is, a great route to go. But like, you could essentially live off your investments. If you had like $500,000 in investments, like just because you grinded out and you lived on like nothing, I mean, you could probably come up with like $500,000 in like 10 years, which is a long time. But in the aspect of life, like if you're 30 years old or older, you should know like 10 years flies by. You could have $500,000 in the bank and be making like $60,000 a year, $100,000 a year. You could be making roughly like $60,000 a year or so just off your investment alone. Like, not even have to work another day again in your life, and you can just keep pulling that $60,000 off until the day you died. That's given there's stock market fluctuations, the stock market crashes, and there's stuff like that you got to look out for. But if you play your cards right, you can live like that. The moral of this video is just to tough things out in the short term, live for the long term, live now, but make the sacrifices while you're young, and you can utilize stuff like investments to really grow your worth and grow your net worth, I shall say, and just don't be like most of the population and going into retirement and not hardly having anything. It's really saddening. and it's something that I don't think anybody should have to go through. I really don't. So it's something that needs to be fixed in society, and just one extra person being able to change up their life, like literally was homeless 6 years ago, and if you can just turn your life around, and then other people can see you, like my little brother sees me, and like my cousin, and other people, my family members, and like people at work, they see me, and like I'm a role model for people who are like twice my age, and it's just because I've just put my head down and I grind it out, and I've decided to keep going hard and make the sacrifices in the now. I'm sacrificing my time. Sacrificing my money in the present so that I have an abundant amount in the future, and I'm grinding hard with trying to make my income increase. I'm always educating for my automation job. I'm doing this family and fit thing, which it does not pay at all at this point in life, but maybe at some point it will. Maybe at some point I'll reach enough people and influence enough people's lives that I'll get some type of return on that as well. And if y'all found this, video inspiring and feel like it's really gonna help you in life, or feel like it kind of makes you like do a mind shift change, make sure to share it with your friends. We need to spread the word of all this. That's why I do fitness, because it falls into the whole aspect of just self-improvement and really just living an overall better life. So I'm going to go ahead and sign out, guys. Thank you guys for watching, and make sure to hit that subular button and that notification bell to get more content and get fit.